And you've also you touched on a debate that artists have been having for a long time that I've talked to you about as well. Oversaturation versus not playing enough.
Yes.
What's your advice?
Yeah. So this is the way I look at it is, again, it goes in steps and it goes in progressions, and you got to start to evaluate yourself and know where you're at. I think when an artist is starting, and starting could be I've been in this game 2 months, or starting could be I've been in this game 2 years. It really just kind of depends on where you are as far as your crowd's response. Okay. So I don't think artists should take gigs so lightly. I think if you get the opportunity to play a gig, you take it. At least in the beginning. Play if you can play an open mic every single night, and you're in the beginning stages of this thing, then I say play. Because even if it's just one person, you're starting to engage. You're breaking through that first layer, and you're getting people's attention one person at a time. You're getting practice. You're getting experience. You're building your network. You're playing. I don't think there's such a thing as oversaturation in the beginning. It's then after you've played your freaking heart out, and you've played for quite a while, that you take a step back and you go, okay, I'm going to now start playing my heart out in a different area, and then I'm going to come back to that area where I have a following, and I'm going to sparingly feed that audience. Because the big venues, the big boy venues that start paying the money, they don't want to know that if you've got a gig at their place on Saturday, that you also have a gig across the street on Friday.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what the heck, man? Your fans aren't going to come on Saturday.
Yeah.
They all went on Friday, right? So you've got to be careful about oversaturating that area. And then if you play every weekend, then people start to go, well, I don't have to go to this one because he's going to be playing next weekend too, or he's going to be playing tomorrow. He's going to this, he's going to that, right? So then you got to be sort of sparing and really go, okay, what are the best venues? What are the venues that are really drawing? Where do I get the best crowd response? And develop a relationship there and say, okay, once a month, once a quarter, once a year, whatever it is for you that works, I'm going to play in this place. Now, the other side of that coin, too, is I've seen a lot of bands that say, okay, cool, I don't want to oversaturate, so they just kind of disappear. And then years go by, and they've moved, or they've this, or they've that, and they go, but I've always had a fan base here. And then they show back up, and they go, all right, hey, where's my, oh, shoot, nobody's here, right? So it's a fine balance. It's delicate. But the goal that I always tell people to go is, okay, pick out your area, saturate the heck out of it. Then after you've developed that relationship there, and that's up to you to depend on how long that is, it's when you've got, people are really starting to come and see you, you've got some juice, right? Then you go, okay, now I'm going to be really particular about what venues I play and how often I play there. But it's not that I'm playing less. I'm going to go to another area that's a little bit ways away that my normal crowd isn't going to be willing to. That inner core will drive all the way out there.
Yeah.
They'll drive 10 hours to see. But your main fan base, they're not going to go that far. So now you can start saturating that area, and then you can be kind of pickier about what you play over here. The challenge that we run into a lot of the time is that artists say, oh, I don't want to oversaturate. And what sometimes that means and I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings in saying this, sometimes what that means is I'm tired.
Yeah.
And they're just they've played so freaking much. This can be such a beating of a game. This is, over time it can just get a little tough to do. And what breaks my heart is sometimes artists go, I'm going to make the smart move and start playing less because I don't want to oversaturate anymore. And basically what they do is they scale themselves out and they just kind of stop playing. I want artists to start thinking strategically about it and say, okay, in the beginning, I'm going to play as much as I can play because, man, that gig is such an opportunity, even if it's just one guy. And then as that begins to develop and it starts to take off for you, you take a step back and you go, okay, it's time to be a little strategic about this. I need to pick the best venues in town, because draw is a lot about venues. Like almost 90% of the draw is the venue. You could have great bands at bad venues and not get anybody. You can have bad bands at great venues and get huge crowds.
Yeah.
So you got to be particular about the venue that you want to get into and all this and you start to think strategically like that. But it's not that you're playing less all of a sudden. It's that now you're just going to a different area, and now you're being really careful about how much you play in that spot. So it's a progression slowly over time. Make sense?
Yeah, very much so, yeah.